Welcome to the next episode of Tech Adept Crafts. Today we are going to do a nice quick video, mainly due to the fact that we are in the middle of report time and my free time is really scarce, and I've decided to embark on finishing a major project of my elven board. The video from last week was painting the elven trees. I'm now painting up all the elven terrain that I have. So that is taking up a massive amount of time. This week we are looking at these textured rollers. Now these are 3D printed. Yes, I have a lot of stuff that's on 3D printers. I do love my 3D printers. However, this was a Kickstarter for textured rollers. Now you can buy some beautiful resin cast rollers and they are exquisite. I will not argue that one in any way, shape or form. But this was a Kickstarter that was, I think, around $30, and I've got 18 full-size rollers and 18 of the mini ones, the mini rollers. The mini rollers would be great for doing texture on smaller scale bases, say like on a 15mm scale figures or a 10mm scale figures. They would probably still even work for the 10mm, but the larger ones are fantastic for 25mm through to maybe even a 35 or even bigger. I haven't tried them on a large scale figure. I have two guys here that I have done bases on. Now I haven't painted the bases yet, but the textured base just really sets off the model, and it's something that I haven't done a lot of in the past. I've created my own bases out of whatever I had handy. This makes it quick and simple. So this was a Kickstarter by Falkenwelt. Now they are a company over in Germany. So if you go to Falkenwelt, that is FALKENWELT.de. Falkenwelt.de. Again, not a sponsored video in any way, shape or form. They were just something that I found on Kickstarter and loved the idea of it, so backed them, got the product, and am now doing a test board. The video that you're going to see is demonstrating how to create them, and I didn't know how to do this to start with, so for me it was a bit of trial and error as well. And I've created just a test board. Oftentimes when you do things like ceramics, you might do a test board showing glaze colors once they've been fired. So I have done myself a test board to see what the pieces look like after they have cured and have had a really quick dry brush. So that is it. There's nothing fancy about the painting. This is to see what these textured rollers look like and whether or not I would recommend them. And I'm going to be upfront, give you a spoiler. Yep, I'm going to recommend them. They are really worthwhile. Anyway, sit back and enjoy the show. This is textured rollers from Falkenwelt, and it's a quick demo of how to use some DAS modeling clay as well. Cheers. So here we are with some Jovi air dry modeling clay, terracotta. I have my 18 rollers and I have a MDF board which I have designated off with 18 slots ready to stick that down, and an empty spray can to use as a rolling pin. Take all of the clay out, roll it up, and then knead it out into a long strip that you will be able to segment off into the separate rolling pin areas. So I'm trying to flatten this out. You can fold it over and keep rolling it out to thicken out in certain places. You can cut it down and add those pieces back in and just keep rolling it out to thicken out to the width that you want. time for the rollers. Grab one, push it firmly into the clay, and keep that pressure even, or else you run the risk of rolling backwards and deteriorating the pattern that you are pressing into that. I have rolled these to a certain length just so that I can cut them up later and stick them down in those slots I've drawn on the board. Unfortunately, I was using too much clay, so you've seen me cut pieces of clay down to try and use in the second line later. As I can see, I'm not going to have enough clay to do that. There's a little technique that you can see me here using, doing a crosshatch on the clay and then smoothing it over. Just helps to join pieces together a little better, and that's from where I've linked several of those offcuts you've seen me do. There they are, done, ready to stick down. It's now going to take a full day, but possibly 2, for that to dry, ready for painting. So I've done a test. This is using one of the stonework rollers. So that gives a lovely stonework feel. I've put it onto a 40mm base, And you can see there that's giving the really nice stone texture. So I rolled it out as I showed before, laid it on, and then just with a Stanley knife just cut around the base. Now this is still loose, I will still need to stick this down later, but that will provide, and there's two little footprints in here because I've already tested it out for a frost giant. And there we go. So a base for my frost giant now, and he will be stomping across the stonework, ready to inflict some major damage. And no, he's not finished painting. Okay, so there we have a base using those rollers. Very, very quick and simple. Love it. And the detail in that is excellent. From a plastic roller, you know, that's good enough for me. I don't need to buy the beautiful resin cast ones. That's fine. This was all 3D printed and it was excellent. There we go, they are dry. That's taken, I actually left it for 3 days to dry completely. They did warp a little bit, so I put something heavy on top just to flatten them for a while. Now I'm gluing them down in their places using a hot glue gun. You could just use some PVA glue, but I wanted to get this done quickly, so I'm using the hot glue gun. Now starting the painting. They have been stuck down. I'm now painting them with Mod Podge. This is Mod Podge with a mix of black paint in it. That's giving it its dark appearance rather than the plain white. Going all over this, it will seal the clay and give it a protective coating, and it also provides the base layer for the dry brushing later. Here we go, the painted tiles ready for dry brushing. That is really starting to pop already. Now we come to the frost giant bases, and I'll paint them exactly the same way, starting with the Mod Podge, and then they will be ready for dry brushing as well. You can see there the indents, and these are very, very thin pieces. And I stick them down with the PVA glue, and I'll file them down on the edges as well. We now come to the dry brushing, and this is, I'll use my grey that I mix up. It was the black and white mix in the bottle for mass production, and when you dry brush, you wipe most of the paint off the brush and then rub it across the raised areas. And on a textured roll like this, that works exceptionally well. This is the only painting level that I'm going to do on this project, as it is there just to show what they look like once you've rolled them out. If you'd like to see a more detailed painting, leave a comment below the video and I'll see what I can do. Well, thank you for watching. Hope that you enjoyed that. The demonstration of Falkenwelt textured mini rollers. The demonstration board that I have here will be a reference tool that I will go back to anytime that I want to use any one of these rollers. I'll go, what does it look like? Like that. And that's going to be my reference as to what these textured rollers will actually come out looking like if I want to do a base, or if I want to do anything for terrain, make some roads, anything like that. This is my guide. What is it going to look like? Now, this was not a painting tutorial. I did say that at the beginning. This was just a simple, what does it look like? How does it work? Should I get it? I'm happy to do a painting tutorial if you would like to see one. Leave a comment down below and I will go into more detail as to how you can go about painting these textured bases and what sort of effects that you can get on them. I'm actually very keen to see what some of these look like as well, fully detailed up. But as I said, this is my reference board. This is not a what does it look like painted, what does it look like. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe and leave a comment down below. We are fast approaching the 100 subscribers mark and I'm very, very grateful to all of you for that. As I said in some previous videos, if we get to 100 subscribers, I will do a live stream and paint a model that you guys select out of a bunch that I'll have on the table ready for selection. Hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.